Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Bueno, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. There is something that has been going on. There is something that has been going on between the Kenyan government and the Ford Foundation, which has really brought a lot of problems between the two parties. We know very well that the Ford Foundation is an NGO which has been in Kenya since 1960. And that is 1963. They're saying that they've been in Kenya for the past 60 years right now. So the Kenyan government, being led by the President of the Republic of Kenya, that is Dr. William Samoei Ruto, is accusing the Ford Foundation for sponsoring the demonstration that have been going on in the country since it started, saying that they have been sponsoring these things by dashing money to unknown people who are activists to support the demonstrators to accomplish their work.
We have no use for anarchy and violence and destruction of property and loss of life. Wale ambao wanasponsor hiyo violence, sisi tunawajua. And I want to call out those who are behind the anarchy in Kenya, those who are behind the sponsoring the chaos in the Republic of Kenya. Shame on them, because they are sponsoring violence against our democratic nation. Mimi nataka niulize watu wa Ford Foundation, watuambie hiyo pesa wanatoa ifanye fujo ndio wapate faida gani? We are going to call them out and we are going to tell them, if they are not interested in democracy in Kenya, if they are going to sponsor violence, if they are going to sponsor anarchy, we are going to call them out and we are going to tell them they either style up or they leave. Tunaelewana jameni ama tuelewani? Munataka watu watununulie vijana ati wafanye fujo katika Kenya? Vijana sio wa kufanya fujo. Vijana ni wa kufanya kazi. Na hiyo ndio mpango tuko naye ya kupanga ajira ya hawa vijana. Wakati tunapanga ajira ya hawa vijana kwa affordable housing, tunapanga ajira ya hawa vijana kwa hii markets, tunapanga ajira ya hawa vijana kwa digital jobs, tunapanga ajira ya hawa vijana kwa mambo ya export of labor, tunapanga ajira ya hawa vijana kwa mambo ya manufacturing na mambo ya value addition na mambo ya industrialization. Kuna watu hawataki tupange vijana wafanye kazi, wanataka kupanga vijana wafanye fujo.
Now, the Ford Foundation replied by saying that we do not fund or sponsor the recent fund or sponsor the recent protests against the finance bill and have a strictly non-partisan policy for all of our grant makings. That is I've just read the red lined mark letter word. So yesterday there is something that just the other day, that is on 18th, there is a message that Kenyan government being led by the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs wrote to the Ford Foundation again, accusing them of still funding the protest, and even going ahead to tell them to give details of their past funds and how they've been using the money, how they spend the money. In short, they were trying to tell the Ford Foundation to give an audit and accountability on how they spend the money in the recent days in Kenya. Here is how they were saying. Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, State Department for Foreign Affairs. Mr. Darren Walker, that is on 18th July 2024. Dear Mr. Walker, on behalf of the government of Kenya, I wish to express our appreciation for Ford Foundation's historical distribution to Kenyan development, your recent visit and Foundation's continued commitment to work with the Kenyan people through civil society and state organs are deeply valued. However, as you may be aware, protests have recently rocked the country, resulting in loss of lives and destruction of property. These protests began as efforts aimed to resisting the government revenue-raising proposal contained in the finance bill, an annual legislation mandated to implement the national budget. Despite various concessions by the government, the demands of the protesters have morphed and escalated into attempts at toppling the country's democratically elected and constitutional sanctioned government and under the dues of the right to demonstrate and assemble. It is noteworthy that several of your grantees below mentioned received a total of 5.78 million US dollars, approximately Kenya shillings 752 million, between April 2023 and May 2024, with unexplained expedited funding and now amounting to 1.49 M US dollars, approximately Kenya shillings 194 million, over the last month alone. Deeply concerns is that most of the grantees have been at the center of the anti-finance bill protest and the subsequent anarchy mobilizations that have sought to upend the peace and security of the state. These are now the list of the grantees. Number 1, African Uncensored Limited Project, that is Project Mulika, 250,000 US dollars. Women Linked Worldwide, that is 750,000 US dollars. Center of Resource Mobilization and Development, 20,000 US dollars. Transform Empowerment for Action Initiatives, that is 220,000 US dollars. Kenya Human Rights Commission, 600,000 US dollars. Open Institution, 100,000 US dollars. 100,000 US dollars. African Center for Open Government, 200,000 US dollars. Transparency International, 300,000 US dollars. The Institute of Social Accountability, 200,000 US dollars. National Coalition and Human Rights Defenders, K, 257,000 US dollars. Shining Hope for Communities, 2.5 million US dollars. Coalition for Grassroots Human Rights Defenders, Kenya, 250,000 US dollars. Community Aid International, 100,000 US dollars. Mzalendo Trust, 335,000 US dollars. Usikimie Femicide, that is 30,000 US dollars. Citizen Advancement Initiatives, 150,000 US dollars. They continue by saying, you will concede that the above funds disbursed to non-state recipients are substantial and must be prudently used to serve a legitimate purpose or risk abuse to aid nefarious ends. Thus, while we recognize the importance of maintaining an open civil space and respect the principles of open government that we both share, the action of some of your grantees contravene the laws Kenya, including prohibition against incitement, hate speech, insurrection and mobilization using disinformation. Their conduct also fundamentally flouts Ford Foundation's non-policy and is now intent on adversely influencing the international political and policy processes within the Republic of Kenya. Noting the existing framework governing the cooperation of your foundation and the Kenyan government, it is imperative that you immediately clear the air on a number of issues touching on your grantees by responding to the following request. Request number 1, provide full details of your grantees over the last year, the programs approved, particularly over the last 3 months, budgets for each project, the amount so far disbursed, and what is pipelined for disbursement. Number 2, furnish us with a report from your grantees detailing the activities carried out, the cost of the activities, and their beneficiaries. Number 3, share a report on Ford Foundation's compliances with its non-lobbying policies or a statement that this policy is inapplicable to its activities in the country. The last one, prescribe any sanctions you will impose for breaches of the law or of international policy. In looking forward to your expeditious response to the above issue, accept, dear Darren Walker. My sincere best regards, Dr. A. Korir Singoi. That is the State Department for Foreign Affairs Secretary General. Where? And then here is the response that comes from now the Ford Foundation. Ford Foundation statements in response to reports of a letter from the Kenyan Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. We are in receipt of a letter from Kenyan Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign and Diaspora Affairs addressed to the Ford Foundation, detailed date 18th July 2024. As a charitable foundation with a global presence, our grant making is transparent and readily available on our website, www.fordfoundation.org. This includes a database showing where our funds go, as well as highlights from our rich history in East Africa and around the world. While we continue to acknowledge the right of Kenyans to peacefully advocate for a just and equitable country, we repudiate any actions or speech that are hateful, or advocate violence against any institution, individuals, or community. We remain ever committed to build our legacy of the Ford Foundation's more than 60 years in the region, so that Kenyans can unlock opportunities that extend to all. I want us to assume this. I just wanted to assume that you are the CS, you are the minister, you are the Secretary General of Foreign Affairs, and you've decided to write all that story. That you know this happened, that happened. Now we expect you to do this and that to us, in response to this, all that, and then the answer that the Ford Foundation gives you is just one, the direct answer. We are transparent, and this is our website. If you want all the details, all the things that you are asking for, because they're like bullshit, if you need all those things, we can't compile all those lists to bring to you in your office. If you really need every detail of what you are requesting for, go to our website. You'll find everything that you need there. We are very transparent. That one brings me to a question. William Samoei Ruto and the government wants the Ford Foundation, which is an ungovernmental organization that just came to Kenya to support, to help, to account for the way they've been using their money for the past 3 months in Kenya. Yet the money that the government wants them to account for is not of Kenya, is from the United States. Yet our government cannot even account for the billions and the trillions of money that they've been borrowing in the name of coming to do projects in Kenya. Yet we've never known, we've not seen the projects that the trillions and the billions of money that are being borrowed normally do. Who is stupid? Who is a fool? The second question, the last one. Why would William Samoei Ruto try to intimidate the Ford Foundation by telling them to bring all the details? Because, okay, as for me, I've never seen a very stupid, a very lazy government like this, that you're coming out publicly to accuse a non-government organization, to accuse a department, to accuse an organization of the way they're using. It's like now you want to direct them the way they are supposed to use their money. And as the government is looking for, as the government is requesting the Ford Foundation to give them details of how they've used their money for the past 3 months, are they forgetting that the same Ford Foundation, there is a time that it supported Rachel Ruto with 300 million Kenya shillings. This is what it says. If they forget about this, we'll all remind them that Ford Foundation, our awarded grants database to promote table banking microloan models that encourage women's enterprises and livelihood project. But you are accusing them of sponsoring the demonstrations, yet you've not done your you've not even done your research very well to come into a conclusion that these and these and these are the things that have happened. Which kind of government is this? I really don't know what you think. I also like to listen to know your thought in the comment section. And a reminder, if you're meeting for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can also like and drop me a comment and tell me you are watching us from and how these videos are reaching you. Until you meet again, I've been your host, Boniface Weno. Bye-bye.